Hello everybody, this is Jeremy Tell the Dot. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be quite different than my normal video. We are not in my studio area. We are actually in my kitchen and dining room area. Right there is a kitchen with zero acoustic treatment. And here's a dining room with like 4 acoustic panels on here. This is going to be a great way of demonstrating the quality of Phenyx Pro equipment, especially since I am going to be taking a look at the PTC 4. This is going to be their 4-channel podium microphone units. This is going to be 4 wireless channels of podium microphones using one 1U rack unit. Now, if we go on the Phenyx Pro website, we will actually see this unit right here. Now, right now, this goes for $286 or $287 without tax. You have a limited time where you can have a coupon code. I will have my coupon code down below where you can use that for 5% off. But as you see, this comes with 4 gooseneck style condenser microphones, and they have a really cool little shotgun microphone little design. This is a telescopic lens. It is really good at kind of focusing the frequency response, and it locks in very nicely using this little 4-pin connector. The wireless transmitter itself kind of looks like the ULX podium wireless microphone, to be completely honest, and it has the AA batteries right here. Now, the IR receiver is in the back, and this is pretty simple. You turn it on, you click it once to mute, and you click it another time to unmute. You click it and hold to turn it off. To lock this in, you simply just find the notch and you make sure that's on top. You seat it, and it clicks in. You then screw this tight, and this will not be going anywhere. Now, if I turn this on, you will see that it is green when it is on, red when it is muted, and then off. Obviously, the light turns off. Now, I will say that this pop filter doesn't do a very good job of getting rid of plosives whatsoever. I actually would prefer a pop filter for the wireless microphone that I'm using right now. This is the PTU71H11B. I actually purchased this one myself after trying out their what's it called, their PTB series, their cheapest series with a half rack unit. I really liked it, and I decided I wanted to get a better one. So I've been using this one. I've had this one for about a month now, and I have been using it for a couple of events, and I really like it. Now, the way that both of these units work is that they are in the kind of mid-tier of Phenyx Pro's product line, meaning that they are able to frequency scan. The way that that works is you're going to see a button in the middle. You're going to hold the button for 2 seconds, and that will initiate a frequency scan. This will scan through all usable frequencies in that channel bank and then find the best one that has the least amount of interference. I have 2 G4 wireless in-ears right here, and that's actually how I'm listening to myself at this moment, as I have a Sennheiser belt pack right here, and I'm listening to myself. One thing to keep in mind is that these units will tend to actually interfere with themselves because all frequencies are open. So the way that Phenyx Pro has done a great way of not needing a management system like Shure does with their wireless workbench or Sennheiser does with their version of a wireless workbench is they have made sure that the frequencies do not clash. But that does mean that the 200 selectable frequencies that are on this unit are actually broken down into 50s. So 4 banks of 50. You have 50 here, 50 here, 50 here, and 50 here. It is the same thing with the PTU71. It actually has, I don't remember how many selectable frequencies, 100 channels each. And there is a 4-channel version, the PTU7000. That one, again, breaks it down into 50 channels each unit. That is why I went and bought this one, because it's like $160 and it has 100 sweepable frequencies. Now, one thing that I did also notice is that you have in the front of your rack ears the ability to attach a antenna system, which is exactly what I'm doing for my PT7U. This right here is actually just little antennas, the same half-wave antennas that came with the PT7. And I just have little adapters that bring it into the front. Well, it does fit, and it does work very well with the PTC. But the PTC, if you can actually see right here, the rack ear holes and the wireless BNC cable mounting holes are actually clashing. I'll have a little video brought up right now because I filmed it on my phone, but you can actually see on the screen. Right here, you can see that the hole of the rack ear and the hole of the mounting bracket go into themselves. And that means that you have about 1 millimeter or 2 on both sides that actually get in the way of the rack ears. I have used my studio rack ears. I've used 3 different cases. This is the standard one that I use. This one has my S32 stage box and my 2 wireless in-ear units. The other one has my Behringer Wing rack, and the other one has my Behringer Wing X32. And all of them have the same issue. I would need to either use a Dremel to carve out more space going inwards, or use a Dremel on the rack ears. And unfortunately, Phenyx Pro's unit has very nice, thick metal here. These are extremely thick. These things are nice. They will not break. They will not bend. Those rack ears will probably last longer than the unit itself. But because of that, I can't just easily Dremel it out like I could with something else. So Phenyx Pro, if you are listening, you might want to take a look at that and remachine it. There is enough room between the handle and the hole that you can just move it about 1 millimeter inwards on both sides and it'll fit perfectly. Besides that, honestly, plosive rejection and rack ears not working properly, if you want to mount it with a antenna in the front, it works perfectly fine. The half-wave antennas are pretty standard. They're half-wave antennas that have the full frequencies that this is capable of reaching, and actually goes beyond that. And I really like the way that this does its frequency scanning. So the way that this is going to work is you're simply going to either select our volume on the top right here. So we can have volume up and volume down. So up and down, you have frequency down and up. And you can actually set, which will, clicking it once, will turn this into a syncing mode, which will sync into a receiver unit. While holding it, we'll initiate a scan. I'm going to do the same thing for my PTU, so you can see that it's the exact same thing. And you'll see that this actually mutes my system. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Once the scan is done, the volume just slowly fades back in. Now, I do understand why it does that. It's doing a frequency scan and it needs to, mute the system to prevent any noise. But I have actually never had a single dropout with this unit. And I've actually even had a little bit of experience with Phenyx Pro's combiner using, I think, 6 Sennheiser units at some event. It was called like Heal the Bay. It was produced by What You Want Productions. They booked me. And our RF venue combiner died. It broke. And that's like a $5,000 unit. And I was like, hey, I have a coupon code for Phenyx Pro. Let's just use this one and see if it worked out. I got like 450 feet on that thing using that $350 unit. And I was like, wow. Good job, Derek. That's Derek over there. All right. Check, check. 1, 2. Honestly, I'm really impressed with this. Yeah. You get really far reach on this. Check, check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right up on the speaker. Check, check. It's good. No noise. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Cool. Let's see. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Check, check. Good.
I won't say nothing.
Do you have Jackson?
Check, check. 1, 2. Check the break arms. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Hey, hey. Check, check. 1, 2. Hey, check, check. Check, check. 1, 2. It's clean. No dropouts. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. We checked this yesterday too when it was a full house. So Oh, shoes. 1, 2, check, check. These are on the wireless right there. Check, check, 1, 2. Perfect. Okay. These things are good.
Really hard year for our community, but one that has taught us a lot about resilience. It's in the moments where we are truly tested that we learn what we're made of. This year has taught me a lot about myself and my community in the Palisades, and it's also shown me what our team at Heal the Bay is made of. I was in Antarctica, of all places.
Anyway, so now that we have this set up, we will turn on one unit. We will simply just bring it up to it and hit set once, and then it will initiate a sync. Immediately, you will see the lights light up right here. You have the RF on the top. This is full RF. So if I go farther away, it should start to go down. I'm going to go as far as I can. I'm like right in front of the air conditioner now. And let's see, I am in a different room. Now I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, I'm coming back now. I was about 65 feet away. I don't know if it went down at all. That was through like 3 different walls. You're also able to see the volume coming in, so you can see if you're close to clipping or not. So you can see if you're close to clipping or not. And this is where you're going to utilize your gain. Now, I like to set the gain to something pretty low, just so that you have plenty of headroom. And keep in mind that your XLR outputs will be line outputs. You will have a mix out that will have all 4 channels, but personally, I do not like doing that. I'm an audio engineer. I do this professionally. I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that DJ rig setup where everything is just going through one channel. Now we're going to go into the Behringer Wing edit software, and I'm going to switch over. So let's start off by getting this out of my way. We'll put this on the table, and now I can set my gains. So right now I have the gain at 20.5 dB. If I go to the other unit, this one, you'll see that it's about the same. It's actually the exact same gain. So that's very good. Pretty good on the gain. I have plenty of headroom, and I'm able to kind of just design how I want this to sound. So if I want to add a low cut, I can. If I want to add an EQ, I can. Let's just grab this EQ and let's make this kind of sound a little bit less muddy. Hey, hey, 1, 2, 1, 2. However we want to do it. Hey, hey, maybe right there. And then we can cut to about like 120-ish. All right, this is the way that it sounds now. I think it sounds very good. But if we want to do something else, we can maybe add a little bit of compression, or even do something like a source extractor, which is going to act as a noise gate and a compressor at the same time. It will basically do a very soft mute of the signal while it also does some compression and gaining. Overall, I'm actually like about 4 or 5 inches away from this microphone, and I'm not even directly on it. If I aim it directly at myself, it picks up a little bit better, and that does kind of speak to the directionality of this capsule. It's very good, but of course, if you're right on top of it, even with the high and low pass filter, it's going to get a lot of plosives. And one thing that I am a little concerned about is there doesn't seem to be a way to control the overall volume of the gain going into the unit itself. That's not a huge deal, but it can become a problem later on if you have a very loud speaker. I myself am pretty soft-spoken, but for some reason I speak very loudly when it comes to talking into microphones. But I have found a little bit of a solution for the plosive issue. I actually bought a bunch of these little foam things and these little dead cats, mini dead cats, to get rid of the plosives on the wireless units that I have, mostly headsets. So all we're going to do is we're going to mute this and swap out the capsule to this new one. You will see that it still has a little bit of plosives, but it is a lot less aggressive, and I can get a lot closer now without it actually having an issue. Now, if you're doing something like a podcast or a spoken word thing where you're able to just record and be really close, to be honest, this thing's great. My friend Derek Gold, his artist name is Derek Love. He has the company Best Sound LA. Him and I are actually going to be starting some production channels together, and we're definitely going to be starting to use these for them. Now, overall, I actually am very happy with this. I have noticed that even though you don't get the full 200 selectable frequencies on this unit per channel, having 50 per unit has also made it so I don't have any type of interference whatsoever. And you've heard this whole thing through Phenyx Pro wireless units. I have used the PTU 7.1 for the handheld, and then I've been using the PTC 4 the entire time. The reason for this is because I am kind of starting to feel like there has been a little debate going on about quality and price, especially because someone like me who does this professionally, I usually am using ULX, QLX at the cheapest, and then I'm using Axients on a regular basis. Now, a ULX system is several thousands of dollars, whereas a QLX can be about $1,000, and an Axient goes 5,000 and up. That's just how it goes for Axient. Now, do I think something like the PTU 7.1 would be a super pro high quality solution? I actually consider it to be something on the terms of like an SLX system from Shure. I have had the same frequency issues, which is basically saying none. And when you connect it to a combiner, and I have used the Phenyx Pro combiner, which we used for this event with What You Want Productions. They booked me to do it. They bought the combiner. The RF venue combiner that we had, which was like $5,000 plus the $1,000 for the paddles, was not working. It broke for some reason. We slapped everything into the Phenyx Pro, and we got like 450 feet of distance, like without direct line of sight. The paddles were behind a glass wall, and there was like all this sand. There was ham radios going on everywhere. I was having to wireless workbench and monitor the RF at all times. 0 dropouts the entire show. That was for 6 microphones, so really nice. Now, the combiner only supports 4, so you have to cascade into the other 2 using a second combiner, but I really hope Phenyx Pro might send me one, because I would love to test out having all of these units on a combiner. And then I'm probably going to buy the combiner for their wireless in-ears, because the Sennheiser wirelesses, the G4s, they sound really good, but they have horrendous frequency just stabilization. And maybe it's because it's little quarter wave antennas. These are half wave antennas. But I guess the purpose of this style video today is because I'm really starting to think that companies are starting to make very professional grade equipment for very affordable prices, whereas other companies are kind of using their legacy of being like, hey, we're the best, so you're going to use us no matter what. The PTU series, which is scannable frequencies, I think is very, very good at the mid-tier. If you're doing some weddings, if you're doing conferences, if you're doing something that you can have the unit relatively close by, within 150 feet, you should have 0 issues whatsoever. You should always scan the frequencies before the show and resync. And that is also why you would want to get something like a combiner, because with a combiner, the Phenyx Pro combiner, which is like $350, you just set it on paddles and you don't worry about it whatsoever. Now, the PTC4, on the other hand, I think is a fantastic product. And because they are using really nice way of balancing out, where like the 2-channel has 100 selectable frequencies each, the 4-channel has 50 selectable frequencies each, you never get the dropout issue, or you never get clashing. Like I said, it happens a lot with the wireless units from Sennheiser and from Shure, because they will grab onto each other's frequencies. Now, Phenyx Pro actually does have a higher end tier that I have noticed, and I have not had the time or the money to try them out, but it is the PTAU series. And this is essentially considered their top of the line units. They're the most expensive ones. So as I'm scrolling here, the PAS 225X, I tried that out at an event. It was amazing, absolutely fantastic. Best $350, I think anyone could spend when they need a combiner system. I am going to probably be buying the PAS 227X because I need a combiner for my wireless in-ears. And like I said, I own the PTU 71, which is basically just the PTU 7000 in a 2-channel unit. Now, their highest end system that I've been able to find is the PTA U2. This is a 2-channel true diversity wireless system for $433. Honestly, really dirt cheap for a 2-channel unit. And you'll see right here, actually, in the picture, this does not have that issue that this has, where the rack ears, the holes for the ears and the holes for the BNC are not interacting whatsoever. That's how you need to do it. So it could just be a bad design, but I noticed even in the pictures, the PTC does have that. But you can see that this has 4 individual antennas, meaning that you actually need to have 2 antennas per channel. And you actually get a cooler looking microphone on this one. This one looks really cool. And from what I've been able to see, you're able to actually control the power output that this has as well. And this is a very definitely higher end system. I would probably consider this their version of a QLX or ULX. I have not used it yet. I really do want to try it out, but it looks really nice. And from what I understand, the frequencies that it's able to hit is very, very good. It's essentially designed to be their high end system. And I definitely believe it with the way that Phenyx Pro is doing stuff. So, I think it's a really cool shot if you're looking for something in the more higher end section. But for the mid-range market, something like these units would definitely do just fine. I have used these for some conferences. I've used these for some performances, for some bands, and for just in general talkback miking. If you take a look at my channel and my shorts that I usually post of me doing events, our crowds are usually at about 3,000 and up. They go to about like 6,000 people. So if a system like this is able to sound very clear and have no issues while being in an environment with like 3,000 plus people, you shouldn't have very much issue. You just have to keep in mind the frequencies that this is capable of having. So that would be honestly your biggest question is, check out the zip code or the area. Are those frequencies even available in that area? You can actually look those up. You just go on Frequency Finder and look it up. And if you are in the clear, you can totally use these units. If they are very busy, you will need something like a combiner to kind of brute force your way into it, or find something that is in that frequency spec. The same thing goes for the Phenyx Pro's wireless in-ear system. They have one that is in the, I think, 500 to 600 megahertz range, and then one that's in the 900 megahertz range. And that is significantly higher. You don't get any type of interference with those, but they are, I would say, slightly different style units. You're not able to do frequency scans. They are presets, and that's something that I do prefer. So in my opinion, Phenyx Pro is definitely a company that is worth taking a look at. The quality of their products is very good, but you do have to watch out. If you get their cheapest gear, their cheapest pieces of gear, it is not going to be the best quality gear you can buy. It is going to be something at the okay level. It's going to be better than anything in 2.4 gigahertz, but you are going to have dropouts and little issues because you're not able to scan for frequencies. Whereas units like the PTU 71, the PTU 7000, the PTC 4, I consider those to be short SLX style quality where you're able to scan for frequencies. It's able to have things selected on a basis that is what is available and what is not available. And they sound fantastic. I mean, you've been hearing everything through this or through the handheld, which I don't even know where I put it down right here. That's going to be it for this video. This is kind of a very weird style video and took a lot of effort to do. So I might not be doing this type of video very often, but I really just wanted to check this out because people have been talking a lot about if companies like this are a sham or if it's prosumer or if it's just something that's going to work till it doesn't. I'm going to let you know just from someone who uses these professionally now. If you get anything in the PTU, the PTC or above, you're going to be getting a very consistent unit. But you have to keep in mind that you're not going to have a wireless workbench system for it. There's no Ethernet cable in the back like there is on all my Sennheisers and Shure units. But again, all of those units are $1,000 and up each. So you can't expect that. So keep in mind that this is going to be better than a GLX. This is going to be better than a BLX. This is going to be pretty much on par with a SLX, and maybe even a little bit better. I've had better results with this than with an SLX system, maybe because the half-wave antennas are actually better on these. But yeah, this is definitely something to take a look at. If you use the coupon code that I have down below, you can get 5% off. Phenyx Pro is very, very good at shipping things extremely fast, and they handle returns very well. You can also buy these on Amazon if you are kind of worried about not getting your money back properly. So there is no real risk to trying them out. But like I said, depending on your use case, you really need to watch out. Anything under the PTU or the PTC series is not going to have scannable frequencies and will have dropouts subject to whatever the presets are. So if it's within your budget, spend the extra $50. Get the PTU, get the PTC, get the really high-end system, which is get something like their PTAU system. Those are very nice systems that are going to last you for a long time. I'm personally going to be trying to get myself a PTAU2 to test out because it looks like it's a system I can just have for several years and have no problem. Anyway, that's it for this video. This has been Jeremy Tothenra, and I will see you guys later. Bye.